Morning, everybody. I have a short sort of teaser tutorial for everybody today. I'm going to be showing you how to use something like IDA to mod on a 3DS. Effectively, what we're going to be accomplishing here is we are going to attach to a process, we're going to find something that I've effectively already mapped out in memory, set a breakpoint, we will trace that breakpoint back, find the actual core function, and then we will manipulate that function to do something that we want it to do. I will go into a bit more of a deeper tutorial as far as my setup, how to do everything that is that's happening on the screen right now at a later time if you would like. So without further ado, let's get into it. Right now I am using the NTR to broadcast all of my screen right here. And the game that we're going to be manipulating is going to be The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask on the 3DS. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to load up our game. Additionally, you're going to need Luma 3D. Get the latest version that's going to be the best for you, and that's going to help get us squared away. So we're going to open up our game. As soon as we are in game on the actual 3DS, we're going to load up the Luma menu. We're going to hold L, the down button on the D-pad, and click select. That's going to bring up this menu on the bottom screen. Go down to debugger options, and we need to enable the debugger. Hit B to go back twice. You should see a IP address in the upper right hand corner. We need that. We're going to go on to under process list, and it's going to be Joker. Typically, whenever you're using Rosalina, your running game is going to be Joker. So we're going to go back twice, and that's it for the setup as far as the 3DS goes. So now we need to open up IDA. Once you have IDA open, we're going to go to Debugger at the top, come down to Attach, go to Remote GDB Debugger. Okay. We are going to go and start manipulating a few of the settings in here. So once you have this first window open, all I did was click on debugger options. That brings this up. I'm going to go down to set specific options. Now your max packet size, set that to either 512 or 1024, something of that nature. Does not matter that much. After we've done that, the configuration down here, set that to ARM Little Endian. We're going to click OK here, OK there. Your host name is going to be the IP address that we saw in Rosalina. So mine is 192.168.0.125. Your port is going to be 4000. Once we've done that, we're going to click OK, and you're going to see this window right here. Double click or click OK. Either one is going to work. You'll notice that the 3DS game has actually locked itself out completely. That's because we have frozen the instance of the game so that we can view the running code. I'm going to get things set up how I like them here. This is by no means the perfect way of doing things. This is just how I like to do it. I'm going to click over here into the tab that says Modules. I'm going to go to Debugger. I'm going to go to Breakpoint and then Breakpoint List. That's going to snap the Breakpoints tab into that modules. Now down here on the Threads tab, I'm going to go click into that, click View, go down to Functions. That's going to snap those. My stack view, I don't really need stack view, so I'm going to click down in here. I'm going to go to View, and I'm going to create another hex dump. I don't want it to be snapped here because I don't want to have to go back and forth. So I'm going to drag this, and I'm going to justify it over here. So this one, I'm going to do data format 4 bytes, columns 4. I'm also going to right click, go down to synchronize with the IDA view. And now, if I am viewing through functions, I can also see what the hex code is down here. So if I wanted to know what the hex code was for this specific function, that's going to be this right there. That's just how I like to do things. It makes things a little bit easier, in my opinion. Oh, y'all can't see that. Let's go ahead and click that so that y'all can see. I apologize. All right. Our hex view down here, I'm going to first load out our offset. I've got several up here that I've just been tweaking and messing with. So I'm going to load this one up. We're going to click into hex view 1, press G. We're going to paste that address in. And we're going to hit OK. Now, just because I know what I'm searching for, I can tell you, where is it? Let me find. Okay, I believe this should be my health right here. Let me double check. I'm going to change data format to unsigned. 160 is the maximum health. 128 is going to be my minimum or my current health. I'm going to go back to hexadecimal. And there it is. 80 and a 0. All right. So if we wanted to just double check this, what I can do is to change this address. I have 80 selected, which is 128 decimal. I'm going to press F2, which starts your edit mode. And I'm going to type a 0. I'm going to hit F2 again to commit those changes. And we will hit F9 to run the game. Let me bring that window back up, and you will see my health is going to snap to full. Just like that, we have found our health. Good. So what we want to do now, as you can see over here in the window, we have this please wait sign. Click suspend. Make sure that you click no on this. If you hit yes, that's going to terminate the entire process. You're going to have to start over. Hit no, and that brings us back into this. We have paused our session, and we have access to the memory. I'm going to highlight what my current health is, and that's going to actually copy our memory address to our clipboard. Go into our breakpoints tab over here on my right. Right click, press insert. So we can see this is the memory address for health. This is a hardware breakpoint, so make sure this is checked. And we want this to break when it writes. We only want to really deal with a size of 1 for this, just for simplicity's sake. I'm going to press OK. That will set up our breakpoint. Next, we will run the game. And from the game, I am going to go out into the field. I'm going to get injured, which will reduce my health. Also, I apologize. I know the frame rate on this is not the best, but it's the best I can do with a wireless link. Alright, so we got an enemy right here. I'm going to get in front of him, let him hit me. The game has frozen now, and we see on the computer, we have a warning. It says hardware breakpoint at the address that we have established has been triggered. You can set it to not display that message, and it will just update all the registers as needed. So I'm going to close this out so that we can see here. Click OK, and now we're going to look at a few things that are happening here. Now, unfortunately, as this is set up, we don't see enough of the actual function to be able to tell what's going on. So instead of going up here, and we can go every 4, we can say, okay, we're going to define that by pressing C, define that. Oh, that didn't work. Instead of doing that, what I want to do is we're going to go to General Registers. We're going to come down to the bottom, and we're going to find LR, which stands for our link register. Our link register is going to tell us what function got called, so i.e. this function. Because whenever we do a breakpoint, it's going to break at the exact point in assembly that is writing to memory. So we need to do a little bit of advanced research so that we can find the top of that actual function. That's where the link register is going to come in. So I'm going to select this. Control C to copy it to my clipboard. I'm going to go back into my IDA view, and I'm going to hit G. I'm going to go to that function. I'm going to hit OK. Oh wow, there is absolutely nothing here. So what we're going to do is we're going to press the C key, and that's going to immediately populate everything else. Our link register is always going to be 4 bytes past the actual call. So what that means is if we go back 4, so we do 80, so 1, 2, 3, 4 to 7C. I'm going to hit C again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Going to go back and do that a couple times. All right. So now we have this right here. Yep, hold on. So now we have this right here. This is an unknown because we haven't defined it yet. But we can see that it has branched to this location. We know that more often than not, if we are branching to a location, this location is going to be some function. I'm going to go to this point in memory, select that, and press C. So that has more or less populated everything. If we look further down, we can see exactly where that function broke in the first place. It is now completely defined this entire thing, but only as a location. What I want to do now is tell IDA that this is an actual function. So I'm going to press P. Now we have a sub defined, and we can see it down here. We're going to go into that, and we can see that's our function. We're going to go back to where it was referenced, and we can see that's where it's set up. That's our link register, so we know we're on the right track. Go into that function. We can kind of see how things are working out. We got a few we have a few arguments that we're passing through. I believe that there's only 2 arguments for this. I haven't really reversed this function a whole lot at this time, but anyway, I'm just going to give you the real fast, dirty version of it. If you notice, this address right here, this word address ending in 314, that's where we set our breakpoint. So we know that this is actually handling health to an extent. And if you check this out, if I go down to A0, which is a address ending in 5312, we see 5312 there as well. So what this function effectively is doing is, and actually I'll make things easier on you. We'll do auto comments so you can see the comments of it. We're starting off more or less up here. We are storing the value of our current health into R2. We can see that by coming up here. 9C is going to be our current health, and then R1 is actually going to be our maximum health, but we'll get to that in a moment. We're storing our maximum health into R1. We are then comparing it. We're comparing R1 with R2, and R2 is our current health, so we're comparing R1 with R2, and then we are storing that data after we've done some stuff. What I want to do is we are going to take, instead of storing R2 into our current health's address, I want to store R1. Again, R1 up here is defined as our maximum health. So I want to store our maximum health into our current health all the time. So what we do in this instance is we come down to here and we just need to change R2 to R1. Well, there are a lot of really good websites that we can use for this purpose. I'm going to show you one that I found. So what I want to do, I'm going to go to this address. You can see down here. All I'm going to do is copy that. And I'm going to use a simple online converter. Paste this. That's going to give us our ARM commands. Double check, make sure that's correct. Nope, we got the wrong one. Ah, that makes sense. Alright, that's what we wanted. So I'm going to then take this function here, press this arrow, that's going to bring it over there. I'm just going to change this 1 to a 2, convert it, and this is the bytes that we want to do. Now understand that this is in a different endianness, so we need to take that, more or less reverse it. So you can see, oh dear, hold on. Really, the only one that changed, BC 13. This right here. So all we're going to do is we're going to change this 2 to a 1. So I'm going to press F2, change that to a 1, and then we will hit F2 again to commit those changes, and you can see that it's changed that. And now let's test our code out. So I'm going to disable the breakpoint here. We are going to hit F9 to play, and then we can see as I'm getting hurt, my health does not reduce because effectively I am constantly setting it to whatever the maximum health value is. And we can see that in real time if we come back. Well, I guess it would help if y'all could see it. So as you can see, I'm not getting hurt at all. We can see it happening in real time. If I pause this, go back to our memory, so we know this right here is our maximum health. This right here is our current health. So if I set this to something like 0, 1, it's just going to instantly snap every single time now. Well, now we see that. I'm going to get hit. He's jumping right over me. He hits me and I jump to maximum health. Suspend it again. Let's change. Uh-oh. I seem to have crashed the game. Let's see. May have just broke the game. We'll see. Alright, I'm going to change my maximum health. Oh, where did you go? Health, health, health. I'm going to change my maximum health to 7F. Commit the change, hit play, and there it's still setting it. That's going to do it for this short little teaser or slash tutorial slash whatever you want to call it. I hope y'all liked what you saw. Hopefully I'll be building more stuff in the future. But as always, happy modding.